program. Red is definitely one of my favorite color. It is a color that I really enjoy doing. I find it sad sometimes that there's not a lot of people wants to wear reds, coppers, and stuff like that, because it is a color that is basically, it's a head-turning color, definitely. And it's a color that has a little bit of an attitude. The goal of today is to present you like cues and tips of basically of how to achieve the most beautiful reds with Davines color. The product that we're going to be covering mostly today was going to be with Mask with Vibrochrome, View, Finest Pigments, and Alchemic. So those are the products that we're going to be covering today. Somebody was asking how long is the class? The class is 60 minutes. So color, so the topics in detail. So we're going to be talking about coloring products differences, color principle, the influence of the melanin when we're coloring with warm tone, because yes, it does influence our target result, and increasing durability. Okay, so another question that I have here, do we have the ability to mute our mic, or do you do that? The mic should be controlled by the person in control of the presentation, which would be Jacopo. So I think all of your mic are on mute, but please put your mic on mute just to make sure, okay? So these are the topics that we're gonna cover today. Naturally, like all of my presentation, this is a program that is powered by Color Mentoring. So this presentation belongs to Color Mentoring, supporting the Davines product. So like any of my presentation, I always will make this a strong statement because it is the key to success. The holistic salon service approach is how do we approach our salon services into salon. So here is the consultation wheel. So if you've been into my previous program, you all have seen this before. So step number one is always building a trust with your clients. So basically here to achieve satisfaction, especially in reds, it's such a fine line between cool and warm. What is orange? What is red? What is violet? What is red violet? So therefore, establishing this consultation, take time to listen to your client, her words, what is she using to describe. Don't be afraid to use some reference to be able to pinpoint the red that she's looking for, especially in example 6,66. The 6,66, it's a beautiful red, it's stunning, but it is on the warm side, and some people like it on the cool side. So make sure that this is clear how she's perceiving it and understanding it. So listen to what she likes, what she dislikes, and what she wants to change in her color. Then following that, it would be the step number two. And the step number two is understanding the need. Check hair scalp, the condition of the hair, the quality of the hair fiber at this stage is mostly important, because if the hair condition is in a poor, very porous, very damaged, naturally quality of your reds will be influenced, and naturally the durability of the reds. So therefore, quality of the hair is definitely important into when you do your consultation and analysis. So feel the hair and scalp, explain the specific care it needs to achieve target result and to maintain also that color. Respect the client's budget. If she cannot afford the services that you're recommending, offer her alternative services that could maybe build her way towards her target result. The next one would be for that would be personalizing the service, how to customize the formula to achieve result you're looking for. What product would you be using to achieve that? And also to at the same time, it is a great step to start to introduce maybe home product recommendation for the client, what is best to maintain the color that you're doing. And following the last step that we are offering the client is basically the care. Care is very important. Always present a product that is needed to support the color that you've done. So recommended proper care, proper usage, how many times a week, how many minutes should she leave the treatment into her hair. Secondly is making sure the client's dossier is up to date with the technical that you did that day formulation, because when she comes back into her next visit, if the color faded faster, if something she didn't like or something like that, you have a formula, you have a reaction, therefore you have information of how to adjust or to modify the formula to achieve the desired result. Now they reschedule next appointment because you know the service you provided, you know the durability of that service and the proper recommendation of how client should maintain her color. And by rebooking your client constantly, it makes your columns in the salon full and into the following months. And this is always reassuring because you know you're going to be busy. So it secures yourself financially by doing that. And this is definitely one of the most important things to do with your client. Again, we have quite a few people has joined in. Welcome to the RED program. Okay, so here again, into a full glance, this is my holistic approach to color consultation with a client and my services from beginning to the end. Hope the information is helpful. So now let's go see reds. Well, reds, first of all, color, I'm sure you
Roch, sorry, the
yeah?
voice is glitching a bit. Can you try to quickly come back or try?
Let's do this. Is this better?
Now, yes, let's try, then I will tell you in case.
Okay, don't hesitate to let us know, okay? Yes, better, good. So I put the ear things in my ears with the mic. Good. Color is a frequency, and the frequency that a color has is all different. And this is very interesting, especially in the violets and the reds. And this will explain you why violet is so hard to do into the hair, and you must understand how to approach it. Red, first of all, has the highest wavelength into traveling. Basically, it's, I think, 750. The speed of the wavelength, and if I'm correct, violet has the shortest wavelength, and I think it's between 350 to 400 into its speed of the wavelength. So therefore, what you're understanding here is violet is traveling less far to compare to red. Actually, this is why, like traffic light are red, stop signs are red, because the color of red traveled the furthest, so therefore it reaches your eyes before any other color. So that's why we see red first. However, violet, since the traveling is so short, it is the color we see the less. I'm sure many of you have taken pictures of beautiful violet tone, you did your color, and then when you're looking at the picture, the violet looks darker, looks browner, looks deeper. It's because the traveling of the reflection light that you have on the hair traveling to your camera, it doesn't have enough strength to reach. Also, to taking picture of violet, if you're taking a picture of violet with your ring light, well, a lot of people will gonna put their ring light on the cool palette because they say they wanna make the violet look cooler. When you're close to it, you're seeing it cooler, but when you're gonna take a picture, you're not gonna see it necessarily cooler, you're gonna see it darker. So therefore, if you ever have beautiful aubergine, deep plum, violet tone that you wish to take in picture with your ring light, the recommendation setting of the light is on the warm tone. Turn it on towards the yellow. So what you're doing now is you're taking the violet color and you're projecting warm light to it so that it's increasing its traveling speed. And check it. I invite you to do that check into the salon whenever if you have violet hair and you have a ring light and you're able to set it into warm or cool tone, put your model on front of the ring light, set it on cool, take a picture, then set it on warm and take a picture. And then you will see the difference into your picture that you're going to see on your phone. The one with the yellow light projected on violet, it will show violet on your phone, but therefore you will see more of the color. I hope that little hint or tips was very useful. And that's a little exercise I encourage you guys to try. Okay, so let's get into the fun part. Let's go see the coloring product differences. Okay. Well, in coloring is we have two types of pigments basically that we work with, okay? There's dye stuff, which is a direct pigment. So therefore, what I mean by a direct pigment, it is a pigment that is fully reflective of the color. Example, when you're putting it into the bowl, you're already seeing the reflected tone of it. Finest pigment is a direct pigment. Alchemic is a direct pigment. So therefore, when you're bringing it out of the bottle or out of the container, you are seeing either red, gold, copper, whatever the color that you're bringing out. So this is considering to be dye stuff, which is direct pigment. They're preformed color pigment. What they do normally is they're depositing their pigment only. So that's what they're doing. They're strictly depositing because they're already a color. They're the most reflective pigment in all. So therefore, when light is being projected on it, it is the most reflected color. Color pigment are trapped in the cuticle or also on the surface of the cuticle, depending on the category of the product. And pigment may basically wash out of the hair between 3 to 8 shampoo. And there is some technology, depending on the color product, that it could last a little bit longer. Now, oxidation color. So if you're looking here, first of all, before I go into oxidation, where does the direct go onto the hair? So if you're looking at the minus and the plus, so you're looking here, so they will go and attach between the cuticle and on the surface. So you're seeing here basically why a minus and why a plus. If hair is into a healthy state, it is a balance of mostly plus. So therefore, a plus and the plus does not connect. So therefore, a negative connects with a plus. Now, if hair is into a negative state, meaning chemically treated, damaged, therefore it's negative. So then a plus will attract the negative. Will it go and connect with the negative? Apologize for that. And therefore, it's a smaller pigment, and it will penetrate a little bit deeper into the cuticle because the cuticle has been sensitized or negative, and they're open. Does that make sense? So again, just to recap, hair in a healthy condition, it is in a positive state. So therefore, the big pigment has to be negative to bond to the surface. The smaller pigment is a positive, and this is when the hair is into a negative state, the cuticle are swollen, so therefore the little pigment penetrates deeper in the cuticle. Cool, thank you. So everybody says they understood, perfect. Next one, it's oxidative pigment. So basically oxidative pigment, it is pigments that are basically here that they will oxidize. So they have a precursor and a copper pigment. So that's why you're seeing two whites. They're colorless when you're putting it into your bowl, so they're not reflecting any color result. When formulating with a hydrogen peroxide, it activates the ammonia and the MEA, and it will start to develop the pigment within the cortex. So therefore, if I take these two pigments and I bring it into the cortex, they will connect together. And when you're looking at it, that they connected together, so first they were smaller and now they become a larger pigment. So therefore, it is trapped and it cannot release itself that fast from the hair. However, depending on the quality of product it's used, the lifestyle of the client, the quality of the hair it is, in long term, the color, some will disconnect and wash out of the hair, exposing hair's natural residual pigment. Any question for this? It's pretty clear. Proceed to the next one. Cool. So here you're seeing here, if I have deposit into the cortex and I deposit pigments between the cuticle layers, is I am increasing the quality of the color and the life durability of the color into the hair. So therefore, I have better durability of the tone. So here is, if you remember, the pigment is direct, okay? So if you remember what I said about direct, they are the most reflective. So therefore, I'm increasing the quality of the color and the reflection of the color by depositing pigment in that area. Cool. Thank you for liking my slides. Okay, so here now, let's go see here what this is. Now, this is pH. pH does influence the quality of the hair fiber you're working with. So whenever we're working with hair color product, they have variation in pH. So example, if I'm working with colors that are in an alkaline environment, its product that's above a pH of 7 is alkaline, like bleach, permanent hair color, your high lift series are alkaline pH. So therefore, their main task is to open the cuticle. So if you see here what happened here, all the cuticles now are open, okay? But now also to notice the difference into the cuticle of being open. Here, they're much more open and then eventually getting less and less open. So therefore, this area is always more porous, and this is how sometimes, depending how we work with the product. Whenever we're taking color and we are emulsifying the color into mid-length and end, we are exposing the hair into this alkaline state here. So by exposing the hair into an alkaline state, I am opening those little cuticle differently. So if you were to emulsify your color every month, okay, and you're leaving it in, just an example, 5 minutes. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So basically this area here has been exposed to an alkaline environment up to 35 minutes. So this means that the hair has been exposed to additional stress for 35 minutes. Therefore, this is why you have all of this here with different cuticle opening. Okay, any question here? We're good? Good. Thank you. Perfect. So the next one would be basically we're going into an acidic approach. The acidic approach is basically a pH value below 6. Okay. It contracts and tightens the hair. And this is exactly what we want to achieve, because by contracting the hair and by tightening the cuticle, what you're doing here is you're basically increasing the hair quality, you're increasing color retention, and you're definitely increasing shine. So look here what happens to the hair now to compare to the other side. Here the cuticles are more closed and here are more open. So therefore, if the cuticles are more closed due to an acidic pH, the quality and the reflection is better. Okay, so this is one of the most important things to remember. So therefore, what we find here, we do have colorants. They're in pH of 5 to 6. And most of our shampoo and conditioner are basically 5 and into a 4 area. So this is telling you that basically we're finishing with acidic product. It rebalances the hair to its natural states, which the natural state of the hair, so hair pH, is between 4,5 to 5,5 pH. So this is what the pH of the hair. Good? Any question? Oops, what happened here? Okay. Okay, so now let's go see our product difference before we go and start formulating. So we have here all of our product category that I'm going to cover today. Yes, I will, Tia, I will talk about post-color treatment towards the end of the program, because this is how I will take care of the hair. So your answer will be, your question will be answered. So here is, we have each product category. We have a product which is permanent hair color, which is masked with Vibrochrome. A new color is within the same category of this here. So it has an alkaline pH of 9.5 to 11. Naturally, what's closest to 11, that will be your 12 series. That will be for your blonde. So where does the pigment deposit in this category? So here the pigments basically deposit into the cortex, 100% within the cortex. So as you could see, there is nothing really around the cuticle area or on the surface of the hair. So the color goes 100% into the cortex. Then we have our demi-permanent color view, which is an acidic of pH of 6.8. And this is definitely my love, okay, for sure. Just to Petra, I have a question with Petra, so I'll just take a moment to answer. I did not put the tube of a new color in there because I was not really covering this product, but there's so much to share. However, for your information, new color is in the same section of mask with Vibrochrome, same pH strength, same depositing effect. Okay, hope it answered your question. So View is definitely my love. I think it's definitely one of the best demi-permanent on the market with the latest innovation in science. Finest Pigment is also to a product that I like. And just before I go to Finest Pigment, let me show you where View deposits. So View will deposit slightly into the cortex, between the cuticle layers and on the surface of the hair. So it's like a shield that you're putting on the hair. A little bit like an idea, if you get a manicure, you get your base coat, which would be your mask for your base. And then you get your top coat, which will be your View. So this is kind of what it is. So the View will be your top coat to strengthen your base, increase color longevity, increase shine and hair quality. Now, Finest Pigment is another love. The smell is incredible. The quality of the product is stunning, and definitely the shine. The shine is out of this world. It's like you have one hair fiber, you're looking at it, and it's like you could just go penetrate the hair fiber and you have all this new dimension of color. And Finest Pigment, being your semi-permanent hair color, will deposit on the surface of the hair. So this is where the product will deposit. So see, it's different than View. So this is even a shield that you're putting around the hair. And naturally, the last here that we have is we do have a temporary colorant. And our temporary colorant is basically our shampoo and conditioner into the Alchemix system. It has a pH between 5 to 5.5 within the shampoo and the conditioner combined. And again, this will have a similar deposit to Finest Pigment, except the durability difference is not the same. Finest Pigment has a longer durability, and then you have your temporary color, who has a little bit of a shorter durability. So here I have a question from Kevin, and he was wondering, for example, if it previously highlighted, does the color penetrate deeper even through thought it's acid? I'm not clear with your question. What would you like to know? View if it would penetrate deeper on color treated hair? Yes, yes. Well, naturally, the more the hair is open, the more the pigment could penetrate deeper into the hair. So yes, if the hair has its cuticle wide open, the capacity of absorption of the product is a bit higher. Hope it answered your question, Kevin. Good. So here, I hope this slide helps you to understand the depositing of the product we're working with. And this is very important to remember because I will come back to that into my presentation. So now let's proceed to the next step. The next step is color principle, is understanding the principle of coloring and basically what will you have as an end result. So here, let's talk about the reflective of the color, the saturation that we're doing with the color. In this case here, we'll talk about increasing brightness or increasing depth. In the law of color is usually we have yellow, red, and blue. here in the center, I put it a nice copper. So this would be a copper color. So anything that is red, anything that is a strong copper, it's considering to be intense. So that's why we say red is more intense, more vibrant. It has a bit more personality. Anything that we have blue, it's adding depth to your color. So it's giving you the depth into your color. So this is why whenever you're looking at a blue-black, it's hard to see a bit of the blue because it's darker. When you're looking at aubergine, when you're looking at plum, when you're looking at deep violet, it's harder to see because of the blue into it. To compare, if you're looking at a 6,66, it is more red, so therefore it is more intense, more vibrant. And when you're looking at yellow or gold, it's giving you brightness to the color. So brightness, luminosity to the color, and it will shift. So here in the center, having a copper color, I want to show you if I decide to add gold to it, what will happen? See, I have brightened up the color by adding gold. So the color is brighter, more illuminating by adding gold. So this is what I'm creating to it. And my rule of thumb is whenever I want to brighten the color, it's up to 25% in my formula. So therefore, what I mean by that, if I were to do 30 grams of 7,4, I could put 10 grams of 8,33 if I want to, or 8,3. I prefer 8,33 because it's more gold. So this is what I mean by this here. Okay. So here, then I'm going to go and show you the other one now. So now we saw what happens with gold. Now let's go see what happened if I add blue to it. See what I did with blue? I mute down the color, but it's still in the copper family, copper brown, and I created depth. So now you're seeing the difference. Blue is giving you depth into your color. So again, the rules apply is up to 25% in your formula, okay, that you could add in. Whenever I work with blue, I personally never go more than 5 or 10%. That's my rule of thumb for me. But I always encourage my fellow colorists to play and to experiment and to see from there, but always start with the least and increase along the way. Reflective. I'm just reading a question. Okay, so I'm trying to understand the question here of David. If we were to color someone with mask, but want it more reflective, could I use gold alchemic or even a lighter gold shade in view to brighten without specifically affecting the shade? Whether or not, first of all, if you use alchemic, for the client, it won't last more than 1 or 2 shampoo after. So therefore, she's going back to the result you have before you're putting alchemic. Putting view on it, you will also to change the color, and it will last longer, definitely, than alchemic. But it's not going to change the reflective into the cortex. It will only add a shield of reflection in the surrounding perimeter. So therefore, visually, you're transforming the color. But when view will wash out of the hair gradually, she will turn back to the color in the cortex. So I hope this answers your question. Okay, for the question with the purple, guys, be patient. I'm coming to purple. Okay, so here, just to show you saturation. This is an exercise in my color mentoring program that I often make do with my people. And I wanted you guys to see here what it is. So basically here I have a 7,4. So 7,4, and I have a 7,11. So by mixing half and half, many people think if I mix ash tone with a copper tone, half and half in my bowl will neutralize. No, it won't, because you have 1 part 1,1, 1 part copper, so it's creating a new color. So this here is basically 1,1, okay? Then here is basically, this will be 2, 2, 1, and this will be 3, 2, 1. So therefore, what I mean by 3, 2, 1 is 3 part of 7,11 to 1 part of 7,4. So here it will be reversed. So basically here it will be in this category. So here I will still have 1 to 2 of the copper, and then here I will have 1 to 2, and then here 1, 2, 3. So therefore, you're seeing what you created here is you created a scale from muted tone to a brighter color. So this is what you're doing. But if you remember in my previous slide, we said that blue gives you depth. So here I use 7,11 and 7 copper. So I always give it an example. I have a client that come and see me. She loves her 7,4. She loves the color. However, Roch, I find it a little bit too bright. So I'd like it to have it less bright, but I do not wish to darken my color. So if I were to use 7,11 to mute down her color, I am darkening it. So what's the solution here is you have it just above you here. The solution here is basically working with 9,11. Always work with 1 or 2 levels lighter in your blue of your target color. So I still have my 7,4, but this time I'm using 9,11. Look, the flow of the color. They basically look all level, same level. I have not created any depth. Okay. So hope this is clarifying. So this is whenever I am formulating warm tone and I wishes to add blue into it and to maintain the color on level, I always use my blue base or my cool tone 1 to 2 level lighter than my target color. So I hope this was helpful. So here I had a question. What if I had white hair to cover? Then you would need to add your natural family to your formula in this case. So example, then you would utilize here 15 grams of your 7. I may use after that here 20 grams of my 7,4 and 5 grams of my 9,11. This is what I could use here in this case. So in this case here is I'm getting white hair coverage due to my natural family 7. I'm getting my reflecting tone of my 7,4, and I'm muting the tone, the vibrancy of the tone due to my 5 grams of 9,11. Does that make sense? Yes, good, marvelous. Wow, an amazing group, amazing, beautiful. Love you guys. It's fun to share with you a little bit of the tips and Q I do. So now let's go see what will be the next step. The next step into our learning is the melanin influence, okay? Because we know that melanin influence basically affect whenever we want to have a neutral color, we have to contract it, we have to neutralize the orange, and we have to neutralize the red. However, that natural underlying pigment, its reflection of warmth will vary depending on the level. So you will have more gold, you'll have more orange, you'll have more reds, you may have a little bit more red, violety brown into it. So therefore, that natural underlying pigment here will contribute to your target color. And this may influence your result of your color. And if you were in my class last week of the blondes, you understood when I spoke about the melanin and the pheomelanin. It is a little bit deeper into the hair. So what I mean that it will affect your color result is when you're putting, example, a color on top of the pheomelanin, the two of them are blending together and they're giving you a result. So let's give you an example what I mean by that. So if I have a client that comes and see me, her natural level is a 4. Her target color that she wishes to be is a 5,4. So very simple. And we will apply it on her hair. And I'm sure some of you could share with me from experience, like you did a 5.4, you did a 7.4, and you felt that the color result was maybe a little bit more redder than copper. And the reason because of that is because we do not take in consideration the natural, the exposed residual pigment of the hair. So if you're looking here, so natural level, then we are having here the exposed residual pigment of the hair. So the color is going to be a copper because we're just lifting one level in this case, and I'm utilizing here 20 volume. So, but you're seeing that it's not as polished of what the color is there. So what I could, oh yeah, some of you have been in my class, and you do know what's the answer. Allison, Allison, by the way, I apologize. I forgot to reply to you following your question about pictures last time. I promise I will answer you. Let's follow up this afternoon. Okay, so we add gold. So like in Austin Power movie, I love gold. So 833 is definitely my favorite color because it is the goldest of all into the Dabness color portfolio, and it has a combination of oxidative and direct. So this is why when you're putting it into the bowl, you do see the gold. It's because of the direct pigment that's in it. So it has pigment that will oxidize within the cortex, and it does have pigments that will deposit within the cuticle area to increase the reflection of the color. So here now, if you look what I'm going to do with the gold, is I will add up 25% of 833 into my formula. So see now the gold is going in. So now I just polish the color and it brightened it up to compare before. So if you're looking before, it's a little bit brown, and look when the gold sliding over, you're seeing the transitioning happening. So I just polished the color to make it more copper. This is what I did here. So formulation in this case here, my formulation in this case here would be, to give you an example, here, I could use 10 grams of 8,33 and 30 grams, sorry, of 5,4, and then I would use here 60 grams of my 20 volume. So this would be my formula that I would use. Was that helpful? Yes? Cool. Then let's go see another one. Okay. So if I have another one here, another case study, and underlying pigment, natural level 4, now violet, my favorite. And you'll be surprised on that one. It is the hardest color to do. We'll be honest, between all of us, it is. It's never violet enough. And when we're putting too much blue into it, it's too dark, we don't see it. So how do we manage that violet? So exposed residual pigment. So if I'm a 4, and even though if I'm formulating with a 20 volume, I am exposing this residual pigment into the hair, even if I use 20 volume, okay? So by doing that, this is the color that I achieve because I have violet plus red. Well, it cannot equal violet. It can't. It will equal basically a red-violet color or a muddy color, okay? So here is my approach of violet. And I do have some beautiful clients with some violet tone. I know there's a client that I know with Vanessa that I do that she's just, it's beautiful, her violet. I really love her color. And she has white hair coverage on top of it. So here is, instead of using 422, I'm going to use 622. Why 622? I have less base because of the 6. The color is lighter, has less base. Therefore, I have more reflect into it. So I have more violet into it. You guys follow me? Is that okay? So then I'm going to go and mix this because from a 4 to a 6, I'm going to work with a 30 volume. So therefore, I'm getting 2 levels of lift in this case. So therefore, now I change my underlying pigment or exposed residual pigment. I'm exposing a new one now. Do you follow me? So now I created my base lighter. So naturally, a 622 on a base is I'm not going to achieve a level 4 violet. There's nothing near it. It's lighter, and there will be some redder in there. Okay, so we agree on that. So you're probably saying, Roch, where are you going with this? I'll just write 30 volume. So bear with me. So therefore, I love gold. So then I'm adding gold into it. So see, there's a shifting that's already happened. Then after that, I will add exactly, Michaela, I will add some blue, but in this case, I will use 221. So now I'm going darker because my color is at a level 6. I need to create depth, and therefore I'm using my 221 in it, which I have violet and blue, and you'll see what will happen when it goes in. So now see how the violet is really more violet now as an end result. So basically, whenever I'm doing violet, I'm lifting up to 2 levels lighter than target result. Therefore, I will go and after that, depositing gold into my formula to create the luminosity and the brightness, and therefore I will add my blue to recreate the depth that I'm looking for. Was this helpful? You liked it? So to give you an example of the formula, so here in this case, I would use 10 grams probably of 833. I would use 5 grams of 2,21 and 25 grams of 6,22, and then 60 grams of 30 volume. This would be my formula here that I would use, okay? C, Giancolo, for your mid-length and N, I will come to that soon. So just bear with me. So next slide. Okay, next slide again. So we have a natural level 4. Target color is a 6,66, so it's a red. This one is particular because this one, the 0.66 is either do you want it on the cool side or do you want it on the warm side? Our 6,66 with Indavenous mask with Vibrochrome, it is a warmer red than cooler. So it's more on the orangey red than the cool red. So therefore, if I mix it with the residual pigment exposed to the hair at a level 6, the color is close to a 6. However, it's a little bit orangey. So in this case, so what I do here is I wanted to brighten it up. So what I do is I bring the color one level lighter. So I will bring it to the orange here. Sorry, the color of the orange is not the right one. So I will bring it to the orange, and then I will apply it on. So the color will be closer. And then I may add a little bit of depth because I brought it lighter. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of depth into it. And you look how closer the color I brought it in. So as you could see, how I approach red is I'm lighting it up a little bit lighter, and therefore I'm giving a little bit more brightness with the gold, a little bit more lift with my activator, and then I'm adding depth within my blue. So here I have a question. I'm not sure how to mention your name. So Bechenka. So in my country, we only have 422 and no 622 yet. How to get use, could I use 422 and to achieve a 622? Yes and no, because when you're gonna dilute it to your you take your 422 and dilute it with your 000, you will not achieve really a true 622 because you're diluting, yes, a base that is still present in a certain weight in percentage of ratio within the violety tone. So you're just liking that strength of a color. So there's still too much base, even if you dilute it with 000. And that you could do the experience like we did in our color mentoring classes. You could take yak hair, little swatches, and you could mix, example, 422 half of 000. You'll see what you will achieve. And you take 622 and you put it on the swatch, you will see the differences into the color. So, and also too, I'm diluting reds and copper with 000. I don't use it because in these tone, you need the color mass. You need the weight of the pigment to increase durability. If you start to dilute your warm tone with 000, therefore, you will have a color that is dilute without enough pigment, so you will have a shorter lifespan of your color. So, Michaela, how do you work with white hair? White hair, then you just add your percentage of your white hair into the formula. So again, here into your formula. So here, if we go back into what I use, so 556, so example here, you need to choose, do I want this color to be warm or cool? So therefore, I have a choice between 6,1, 6, or 6,0. So this is my natural family I could use. I will go here with a 6,0. 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6. So here I need 15 grams because that's what I need to cover white hair. And here I will add a bit of depth. So I'm just going to add 5 grams. So therefore 20 grams here. So that's what I would use. My 5 was not clear. 5 grams. So this would be the formula that I would use if I would have white hair. Okay. Cool. Did you guys like that? Let me know if you like it, because this is going to encourage me to do more slide in this direction. Okay, so now that we cover understanding the exposing is dual application. So this will answer your question regarding the question regarding mid-length and N. What do we do with mid-length and N? Well, mid-length and N's for reds, anything that's red, copper, or beige, for me, it's a must that you have to work with View. In my case, because of what View does to the hair. View being acidic, it closes the cuticle, tightens the hair shaft, increasing vibrancy and shine to the hair, and increasing longevity and durability of the tone. Because if you were to utilize your alkaline color, so basically your mask or a new color applied at new growth, and you were to emulsify the color to mid-length and N, remember the slide I presented you at the beginning, the variation of porosity. The ends is always more porous and loses its color. So this is what you see here. The minus are showing you the negative charge of the hair. So therefore, the more negative the hair is, the more minus the hair will be. So how do I refresh mid-length and end? First, before applying my view to mid-length and end, I must take care of these here. I must change their charge. So what I do is I use Day, and Day is a leave-in treatment. I use it for a porosity equalizer. It has a pH of 4.1. So you miss the ends, starting from the ends here towards the scalp area with Day. And what that will do to the hair is to ensure even color saturation from scalp, mid-length, and end. It will balance the charge into a cationic positive. So it will increase the quality of the hair. Therefore, when you will apply your view, you will have a better saturation from scalp, mid-length, and end, from new growth, mid-length, and end, even color resolve, and durability. View basically will deposit on the surface between the cuticle layer and slightly into the cortex. It has a pH of 6.8. So therefore you are even closing the cuticle even more to increase quality of the hair and shine of the color. So as you could see here, so if I have my view, you see mask is in the cortex, my 5.4. So when I will deposit my view will go there. So what I did is I'm increasing my shield. Now, a little tips. Whenever, if I'm doing refreshing mid-length and end, depending how faded the color is, if I just need to refresh the tone, I will dilute it with gloss. So I am one level lighter than target. Because remember the rule, color on top of color makes it darker. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here I have a good question is how do I get a porosity control with Day? Should the hair be damp with Day or do you wait? So basically you miss till the wet hair, you feel it damp. Day has a cationic positive charge, so therefore it will reverse the ionic charge of the hair. It will rebalance it into a positive charge. This is why we say that our Day is our go-to product for porosity equalization of the hair. Hope it answered your question. Yes, you miss the hair with Day, not till the hair is wet, till the hair is slightly damp. You make sure you take section by section and you make sure maybe you comb the mid-length and end to ensure even saturation of the product. No, you do not blow dry Day after you apply view directly over it. You do not, that's why you must not over wet the hair. You slightly balance and your concentration of Day will be strictly into the tip of the hair where there's more negative charge and slightly into the mid-length. Does it make sense? Cool. Let's go see the other one. The other great product is basically, and the same rules apply, finest pigment. It's stunning. I think it's 98% organic derivative. The pleasant is incredible. The shine and the quality of the hair is mind-blowing. I think it's one of the most amazing colorant. It's also to my love too. Whenever you're doing photo shoot, whenever you're doing competition work and everything, it's always amazing to finish with this product. What this product do, so you balance the charge again of the hair, and this one will go and deposit on the surface. It will deposit direct pigment, which are the most vibrant pigment of all. So there will be very, very, very shiny to the hair. So this is when I would use the finest pigment. Nicole, I totally get it. I do love finest pigment too. Okay, so home care. So we're approaching, hey, we're on time. Wow, this is rare for me to be on time. Usually I always like to take more time. Hope Margaret is online. Let's go see here the home care. The home care, and this is always an example I give my clients. It's how to take care of their hair, and I've been using that story ever since I've been in the industry, and I'm a young colorist of 35 years of experience. So I'm barely starting. So, and And the example is when you give your client a reference that they understand, it's clear for them. And the little red dress always worked good for me. Even till today, it's an example that they clearly understand. So I say to the client, and why is home care so important for your color to maintain it, and why the quality of the product is important, is I give you an example. You're gonna buy yourself a beautiful red dress. You'll spend like a couple $100, $150 on it, equivalent maybe to a color, or $80. And that beautiful red dress you have, this will be the dress you will wear for the next week or two. Now, depending how often your client is washing your hair, some of them wash it every day. Some of them wash it every second day. So I will say here for 1 week, okay, you will wash this dress every day. So that's 7 times. You will use regular detergent, no fabric softener, and then you will put it in the dryer to dry. What do you think that color of red dress is going to look like after? I'm sad my animation here did not work. It was supposed to appear when I asked it, but now you're seeing it, it's pink. Hey, technical issue. So here is basically, you're seeing it, the dress went pink. Then I would ask, why did it go pink? Well, I washed it in the machine on a regular cycle every day with a regular detergent and no fabric softener. So the quality of the fiber is becoming poor and it faded. Well, I'm saying hair is a fiber containing a pigment. Therefore, if you wash it every single day, this is exactly what's going to happen. Now, let's change the process. So now let's go and take that dress and wash it for 1 week. Wash it maybe 2 times, okay? Gentle. With proper detergent, that is for gentle, delicate. Or maybe if there was a detergent that had a bit of red pigment into it, then you would treat it, okay, with a product softener. And when you would dry it, you would dry it on delicate. So now, would that dress have a better chance to stay red? Yes, for sure. So this is what you need to educate your client. This is where you need to talk about it. And Michaela. So this is what you need, and you're absolutely right. You saw where I was going. We are talking about alchemic. So alchemic here, it is basically also to sometime the product I use at the sink following a 6,66 as copper color. So I will sell it to my junior, please use alchemic copper, use alchemic red. And they're using this is because when I'm shampooing the color, I'm maintaining the color saturation. And when I'm finishing with the conditioning pigment, I'm adding direct pigment onto the surface of the hair like you saw on the previous slide. So I'm increasing shine, vibrancy of the color, being an acidic pH of a 5 for the conditioner and a 5.5 for the shampoo. Therefore, I'm acidifying the hair. So this is my post-color services, closing the cuticle, making the hair color strictly beautiful. So these are my little secret that I wanted to share with you guys of how do I approach red and how do I take care of it. So today you've learned consultation is the most important. You also to learn about product position, where does the pigment deposit. You learn the influence of the melanin into your color formulation. You learn that gold gives you brightness, blue gives you depth. So you play with that. And we learn also too about the home care regime or the post-color care services into your salon. And this is what I use. So naturally, if you ever wish to learn more in-depth the information that I share with you, I do have 2 programs that I offer. I do offer Color Mentoring the Origin, which is a 3-day traveling program. It is the foundation of color mentoring to prepare you to the unique experience exclusively at the Davines Village. which the Davines Village program, the Unique, is a 5-day master program where you are basically learning mixology, all the tricks and the tips of understanding when to use gold, when to use blue, when to use red to intensify, to create depth, or to brightness of your color. It's an amazing program, and some of you here already been into this class. So now, just to say, we're arriving right at 11. Do you have any question? Yes, I hope to see you guys in one of my class in future. Can't wait for this pandemic to be done and over with so that we can all go back to more of a normal lifestyle. So thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the class. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, if you ever have any question, it was not clear, you're always welcome to join my social media. It's Roch Lemay. Roch is written with an H, not a K. And you could reach me through Messenger or Instagram. I am more active on Instagram, so just to let you guys know. So thank you for joining my class today. It was amazing having the opportunity to share with you my experience, my knowledge to help you guys to grow to success. So I wish you all a great day wherever you are in this world. Love you guys.